Why gang, welcome back for the second half of tonight's Snarl in San Antonio, Texas. Wally, Johnny, and Tex still here, and what a second half it's set to be.
Up ahead, a cruiserweight match between Scotty Priest and Craig NBC block of Ringside Army. Andrade returns tonight, facing Larry Zbyszko. There's gonna be a 10-woman battle royal to determine Dynamite Jeannie Parker's next opponent for the Women's World Championship. And in the main event, it'll be Tub of Hog Fat Vader facing Warlord Santos for the Super Heavyweight title. Huge lineup, chock full of future implications.
Would you please stop calling Vader a tub of hog fat? You're gonna get in trouble doing that.
No, I am not intimidated by that walking pork roast. And I hope the Mexican monolith eats him and doesn't get sick.
Oh boy, well, there's no changing Johnny's mind on this one. Alright folks, as we move on into our second half, our opening contest, cruiserweight battle between SP1 Scotty Priest and the Ringside Army's longest reigning cruiserweight champion ever in RWL history, Craig NBC Block.
Welcome back, fans. Our second half opening contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Glen Burnie, Maryland, weighing 194 pounds, SP1 Scotty Priest.
Long-standing grudge between SP1 and NBC. About 3 years ago, Scotty Priest was cruiserweight champion, and Craig NBC Block challenged him for the cruiserweight title, hoping to get it back. But it did not work out quite that way. SP1 wound up retaining the title, and I think Craig Block might still be a little bit salty about it, even after 3 years on.
His opponent accompanied by Troll Barton, representing the Ringside Army from Miami, Florida, weighing 195 pounds, Craig NBC Block. I doubt that even Craig Block could hold a grudge after so long a time, especially after having been out of the scene for so many years.
Craig Block was hoping for another possible years-long run as cruiserweight champ, but Priest did stop that plan cold. I don't think NBC could still be salty about a loss that was so very damn long ago.
It's been about 3 years since Priest and NBC last locked horns. Let's see if anything changes this go-round. Everybody's ready to go. Referee Willie Johnson sounds the bell, and here we go. NBC with a chop across the chest of Priest, a couple of rights, a left, and an uppercut takes SP1 down to the canvas. Craig NBC Block with an armbar stretch on Scotty Priest. NBC with a couple of hard stomps. Block drives a knee into the head of SP1. Priest quickly back up on his feet and a Hurricane Rana to Craig. A rebound off the ropes and a beautiful crossbody by SP1 with a cover. 1, 2. Just the one. SP1 rounds up Craig Block from behind. Inverted DDT, slamming the back of his head to the mat. Craig sweeps the leg, Cobra Kai style right there. There's a knee right to the head of SP1. This is a great cruiserweight match already. Block with a couple of rights, a chop, and another right takes Priest down to the mat. Whole lot of back and forth already. Not wasting any time. Priest whip to the corner. Count. Oh, look at this. He tried to counter, but Craig says, oh, no, you don't. Here we go. Baseball slide through the ropes, and Priest goes slamming into the mat. SP1 on the apron, using the ropes to get himself stood up. NBC moves to the outside with him. And now they trade shots, and down goes Craig. Craig Block on the outside. SP1 crashes and burns on the high-risk maneuver. That did not work out. Referee counting Priest. NBC content to stay right where he is. Priest comes back in, locks it up with Craig. Craig with elbows to the midsection of SP1. They lock it up again. Priest whip to the ropes, Goes behind on him. Suplex with a pin and a bridge. Look at this right here. One. Oh, no wonder Craig was Cruiserweight champion so damn long. NBC locks it up with SP1. Gets a hold of the leg, but Priest says no. Look at this. Rolls it up into a small package. One. No. Wow. These guys are good. SP1. With that beautiful flipping slam that he does. There's a stomp. A rolling elbow to the back of Craig block. Sherrill Barton just standing ringside behaving himself. Craig makes it up to the far right corner. Priest turns him around in it. Double axe handle to the back. Followed up with another. Tried for a third, but winds up in the same situation himself. Craig block. Gets a oh! Man, what a way to try and snap a leg. I've never seen it done that way before. Wow. Craig block. Putting the boots to the face of SP1. Priest rolls out towards center ring. Sherrill Barton encouraging his buddy, Craig Block, who is definitely fired up. NBC rounds him up. Couple of rights. Gets a hold of him again. Trap suplex for SP1. NBC makes his way to the top turnbuckle. Here he comes. Big time leg drop across the throat of SP1. That could do it right there. Here's a covering of the leg. 1, 2. And a near fall again. With Craig Block in control of things at the present time. Delivers the kick to the leg of SP1. Priest using the ropes to get himself stood up again. He's at a huge disadvantage right now. Craig gets a hold of him. Whips him to the ropes. Misses the grapple. They collide. NBC locks him up again. But Priest ready for him this time. Elbows to the midsection of Craig Block. Priest off the ropes. Another flying crossbody to NBC. Craig Block rounded up by Priest again. Another rebound off the ropes. Look at this right here, man. Whoa. Wheelbarrow Bulldog. Beautifully executed by SP1. Craig back up on his feet. There's a kick to the midsection. Priest setting it up. Oh, man. That is a nasty move. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg by SP1. 1, 2. Again, no. Craig getting the right shoulder up just before the 11th hour. SP1 moves in on Craig, smashes his head into the turnbuckle. Priest moves in again, pitches him out towards center ring, comes up to the middle rope, and rebounds for a beautiful moonsault. Nicely done. He's going to go back up again. Look at this. Ambitious. Big time frog splash with a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Wow. Craig refusing to give up the ship here off the top rope. Man, that was nice. SP1 pressing the advantage. Craig Block on the outside. Priest goes out after him. Ooh, double leg drop to the nether regions. That ain't good. There's a kick right to the face of NBC. The referee continuing to count with both men on the outside as SP1 walks in a heel hook stretch on Craig Block. Craig in some trouble now. NBC having his difficulties here as SP1 starts to really press the attack here. Gets a hold of him, has him up, snap suplex. Flips it over. Look at this over here. Another one. He's going to go for the trifecta. Look at this. SP1 with a triple suplex on Craig Block as the referee continues to count. Oh, man. Double stomp to the arm of Craig. SP1 gathers him up again. Gets him back inside the ring. Finally, some order restored as SP1 takes his sweet time about getting back in there. Referee Willie Johnson continues to count. Priest finally decides he's going to move back on in. Craig Block with a wraparound DDT on SP1. Craig Block trying to turn it around here. Whip to the ropes. Oh, man, nice neck breaker from Craig Block. And again, the momentum's gone back and forth like crazy. Priest opens up with a kick, a couple of chops. He's got him up in the fireman's carry. Nails him with a Death Valley driver. Nicely done. SP1 takes himself to the top turnbuckle. Here he comes. Another frog splash with another pin and another hook of the leg. Here's the referee. 1, 2, 3. That is it. That's going to do it. SP1 wins by pinfall. That's it.
The time 6 minutes and 41 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, SP1, Scotty Priest.
Well, it looks like NBC is not perhaps as quite as bitter as we thought he would be. He conducted himself, well, like a professional, but SP1 winds up getting the win again over Craig NBC Block. And here it was in the replay. Priest, with that frog splash off the top, took care of Craig Block for the 3 count. We'll be back with more Snarl right after the break. Don't you go anywhere.
Coming up, it was 2 weeks ago that Andrade put in his first RWL appearance, losing to Gene Snitsky. This week, Andrade Sn Almas is back and going one-on-one against the living legend, Larry Zbyszko. This one ought to be good.
And it's Andrade Sn Almas, Wally. You guys need to bone up on your thing.
The following contest is set for 1 fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by Zelina Vega from Mexico, weighing 230 pounds, here's Andrade Sn Almas.
Well, how about this? Andrade joined by Zelina Vega once again. He's definitely getting kind of bold in his first 2 weeks here. And while he lost to Snitsky, Larry Zbyszko is going to definitely present some difficulty for Andrade.
Double interesting, since we haven't seen Zbyszko for a while.
7 months since Larry's last match, but you know Bobby Heenan has kept Zbyszko in reserves. And his extensive experience is gonna definitely give Andrade an even tougher match than Gene Snitsky did.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think Andrade is quite capable of handling Larry Zbyszko. Gene Snitsky does a whole other thing. Gene Snitsky's bigger and meaner. Andrade didn't really have too much of a chance against Snitsky, but I think he's got a fairly good chance against the living legend Larry Zbyszko. And hey, you can't really fault Andrade for having Zelina Vega at ringside with him. It's been some time for them. But wow, it is a thrill to see Andrade Sn Almas and Zelina Vega here in RWL. Oh man, going up against the living legend Larry Zbyszko. Talk about a generational clash.
I'm sure she's great for his ego, the way she just totally fawns over the guy. Seriously, find you a woman who looks at you the way Zelina Vega looks at Andrade.
I'm kind of lucky, in that Sylvia Strong treats me like this a lot of the time. Gotta admit, I didn't know how to handle her at first, but she's definitely become the hot sauce on my ribs.
Well, that's an interesting analogy, GB. Mr. Cakes. Yeah, Sylvia Strong definitely treats you well. And well, hell, what the hell, you deserve it anyway.
His opponent, accompanied by Bobby the Brain Heenan from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, weighing 234 pounds, the living legend Larry Zbyszko.
Well, it is nice to see Bobby the Brain Heenan back, but it is even nicer to see Larry Zbyszko back in action after 7 months. He wasn't injured or anything. Just like he said, Bobby Heenan kept him in reserve until he needed him. And I guess, well, now's the time up against Andrade in this matchup. Well, Bobby the Brain Heenan, who tries to figure that man out, good luck with that project. Larry Zbyszko, however, a seasoned veteran who completely destroyed his own career as a babyface when he turned like a rabid dog on Bruno Sammartino in 1980.
The lovable, clean-cut kid from Pittsburgh, former tag team champions in WWF with Tony Gurria, gone forever after he turned on Bruno, something for which Bruno Sammartino has yet to forgive Larry for.
That's not entirely true, Johnny. I firmly believe Bruno has forgiven Zbyszko, but he certainly hasn't forgotten the betrayal by his former pupil.
Top-notch background on our two opponents, guys. Willie Johnson rings the bell, and here we go. Andrade with the upper hand on Zbyszko right out of the gate. Into a dragon sleeper, shoves him back. Zbyszko with a kick to the midsection, and a headbutt takes Andrade down to the canvas. Andrade winds it up and shoulder tackle. Larry Zbyszko catches a kick from Andrade as Zelina Vega cheers him on. Zbyszko forced into the far left corner, swings and misses, Andrade does. Andrade whipped to the ropes by Larry Zbyszko. Zbyszko ducks under. They collide with no result. Andrade opens up with a right and a chop. Zbyszko chops him right back, gets him by the throat, got the goozle. Oh, tried for the choke slam, but got countered by Andrade. Andrade countered by Zbyszko with a right. Zbyszko misses. Andrade opens up with a couple of shots. Zbyszko chops him right back. He is going to keep right on going. Andrade with a drop kick takes Larry Zbyszko down. Zbyszko catches a kick to the face from Andrade. Bobby Heenan got to be a little bit concerned anyway. Zbyszko counters with an elbow and a clothesline, takes down Andrade. Andrade sweeps the leg, takes Zbyszko down. Oh, this one's going to be frantic. A right, a chop, another chop, and a kick that misses. Zbyszko still stunned. There's a slap right to the chest that slapped him right down to the mat. Zbyszko counters again. Again, Larry Zbyszko, a seasoned pro, countered by Andrade with an elbow. Zbyszko counters Andrade again, and a clothesline puts him out onto the floor over the top rope. Larry Zbyszko, as if he knew it all the time, as Willie Johnson starts the count. He's waiting for Andrade to get himself back inside. He's not going to go out after him. Andrade returns to the ring, swings and misses. Zbyszko slams him head first into the mat. There's a stomp to the chest from Larry Zbyszko and into a blatant chokey on Andrade. Zelina Vega certainly don't appreciate that. He's got him by the throat again. He's going to try it again, but no. Again, Andrade refusing the choke slam and delivering a suplex with a pin, but not good enough. Wow. Andrade undoing the turnbuckle. Not cool. But Larry Zbyszko has been known to carry a roll of dimes in his trunk, so, well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, I guess. Andrade slaps Zbyszko down again as Willie Johnson goes to tend to that turnbuckle. Zbyszko pitched over the top rope and out onto the floor by Andrade. Bobby the Brain Heenan checking his fella, making sure everything's okay. Zbyszko a little bit slow to stand up after that trip to the outside. Gets a hold of Andrade, winds up the arm on him on the outside. Andrade counters with an elbow, makes his way back inside the ring. So does Zbyszko. Larry whips him to the corner. There's a, whoa, man. Pulls him out of the corner, rebounds off the ropes again, and a drop kick to the side of the head of Andrade. Andrade taken down into a headlock by Larry Zbyszko. Larry squeezing for all he's worth. Andrade looking like he might be having some problems here. Larry Zbyszko going to work here on Andrade Cien Almas. Back up on his feet. Andrade with a suplex with a pin, but too close to the rope, so that's no good. Andrade with Zbyszko in a seated position. Larry counters with an elbow, gets back up, moves in, and a clothesline takes Andrade down dead center ring. The living legend Larry Zbyszko doing a little bit of showing off here. Look at this. Zbyszko pulling out a classic here. Oh, man. A series of hard lefts to the head of Andrade. As he rounds up Andrade, gets a hold of him and whips him into the corner. Swings and misses. Andrade quickly out of the way. There's a shot to the chest that takes Zbyszko down, followed up with a couple of stomps to the midsection. Andrade gets a hold of Larry Zbyszko. Sets it up. Oh, man, that was beautiful. Larry Zbyszko reeling from that last shot as Andrade undoes another turnbuckle. Oh, man. Two dirty fighters. It's not going to get any much better than that. Look at this right here. Andrade taking Zbyszko for a ride. And he went spinning. Andrade gathers up Larry Zbyszko again. Another pin with another bridge, but again too close to the ropes, and Bobby Heenan's seen enough. He's arguing with Willie Johnson. A gouge of the eyes from Larry Zbyszko. A kick to the leg from Andrade. Zbyszko counters again. Gets a hold of him, belly-to-belly suplex on Andrade. Larry Zbyszko gets the leg swept. Andrade gathers him back up. Zbyszko counters with a kick to the midsection. Man, these guys are good. There's a kick to the midsection again. Larry Zbyszko sets it up. Whoa! What a beautiful slam from Larry Zbyszko. Zbyszko taken down with a shoulder tackle by Andrade. Andrade gathers him back up. There's a kick to the gut. There's a kick to the chest, and down goes Larry. Zbyszko rounded up again by Andrade. Gets a hold of the trunk. Zbyszko quick with the counter and quick with the neck breaker. Takes Andrade down. Bobby Heenan liking what he's seeing so far. Zelina Vega a little concerned as Zbyszko is whipped to the ropes. Andrade misses with his move. Zbyszko gets a hold of him, slams him into the turnbuckle again. Turns him around in the corner. Zbyszko puts him up in a seated position, a hard right to the face. And Larry Zbyszko is about to take him for a ride. 10 feet up and 10 feet down. A top rope superplex for Andrade. And boom, there it is. Larry Zbyszko taking a serious risk on that one, but Andrade caught most of the damage. Okay. Larry Zbyszko gouges the face of Andrade. Andrade counters, quickly makes his way back inside the ring. Larry Zbyszko not too far behind. Andrade stopping the showboat long enough for Larry Zbyszko to get a hold of him. Big mistake. Double choke toss to Andrade. Larry Zbyszko indicating, yes, I've got the knowledge. As he makes his way to the top turnbuckle, Andrade laid out center ring. This could be bad. Here we go, Zbyszko with an elbow right across the chest with style. 1, 2, again. Another near fall. Larry Zbyszko not able to get this one done. Quickly gets himself back up, rounds up Andrade. Andrade counters with a jawjacker. A hard forearm to Larry Zbyszko. Zbyszko whipped to the far right corner by Andrade. A kick to the chest. Down goes Larry Zbyszko. Double knees to the face for Larry Zbyszko. Andrade goes for the cover and hooks the leg. Here's the ref. 1, 2, 3. Well, now Andrade picks up his first win in RWL over Larry Zbyszko.
The time, 7 minutes and 31 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Andrade.
Well, I guess Zelina Vega must have been Andrade's good luck charm, his good luck penny, because he just picked up his first win in RWL over the living legend Larry Zbyszko. And my, doesn't Zelina Vega look proud of Andrade Cien Almas. Call him Andrade Cien Almas, Andrade El Idolo, whatever the hell you want to call him, but Andrade just picked up his first win in RWL, and we'll be right back with more Snarl right after this.
Well, it had to happen sooner or later, y'all. Front office says, since I've whooped just about everybody we've got in the ladies division, they're gonna have to hold a 10-woman battle royal to see who's next in line for the Women's World Championship. They chose a wife field, but I think whoever wins and ends up on the other side of the ring from me at the next Rage card. Just know I am not gonna make this easy for you.
You heard the sexy soul sister of the Squared Circle. With a shortage of top contenders for the Women's World Championship, RWL resorts to a 10-woman battle royal to determine the next #1 contender. The next contest, a 10-woman over-the-top rope battle royal. The women who drew numbers 1 and 2 will start the match, with a new entrant joining the match every 60 seconds until all 10 have entered. The last woman standing will become #1 contender for the RWL Women's World Championship. Well, looky who drew numero 1. Drew Draven of the Disciples of Darkness.
Front office decided that some new blood was needed here. While there are a few ladies signed up that have challenged Jeannie Dynamite in the past, but a lot of these entrants never have, and Drew Draven is one of them.
I understand about keeping things fresh, but Drew Draven, honestly, I see it as rewarding the damn sectarians.
I know, GB, but it was crucial to get some new opponents for the Women's World Champion, and I guess we might very well get a new opponent for Parker that she hasn't already beaten.
Well, having drawn #1, it ain't going to be Drew Draven. I can pretty much guarantee that. She'll probably wind up getting eliminated. Let's see who we got as numero 2. Oh, now, the 9th wonder of the world, China. Well, there's a contender. She definitely got some potential.
China as second entrant definitely encourages me. I'm with Tex. I don't see Drew Draven surviving this field of 10 till the finish. Just the thought of any sectarian women challenging Jeannie Parker is just, well, revolting to me.
Draven is gonna have to hang on with the tips of her little black fingernails against China, a former multi-time ladies Showbiz Legends champ. Smile Up GB Drew Draven will almost definitely not be going to the dance with the Queen.
Some other key factors the front office considered in carefully vetting their selections was current title holders, so Madam Snoo Snoo, Dion the Titaness, won't be part of this battle royal as Women's International Champion.
You mean to say no Snoo Snoo? Well, that's damn disappointing. Drew Draven starting it off against China in this battle royal. And, well, engaging in a little choky on the ninth wonder of the world. She looks like she's out of her element. She looks like she doesn't even know if she belongs there or not. Oh, man.
She knows damn well she doesn't.
But she is posing a bit of a problem for China, though. But I'm sure she's not gonna last till the end of this deal.
If she does, you're gonna see me in a colossal crash out.
I haven't seen you in a good crash out in a year and a half, Johnny. I do hope that does not happen. The ninth wonder of the world beginning to assert herself here against Drew Draven.
China's handling her pretty well. Well, as Drew Draven struggles to hold her own against China, we're just seconds away from our next entrant. Wonder who drew number 3. We'll know in just a few more seconds.
Drew Draven took a look to see who's coming in, and she is not happy. That is Amanda Robinson. Basically her boss with a kick to the back of the head to Drew Draven. Amanda Robinson, I do not believe it. A knee to the gut and a knee to the head of China. Amanda Robinson, are you kidding me? I didn't think you'd get 2 sectarians in there, let alone 1. Damn.
Come on, it's pretty obvious what the sect is up to, flooding the zone with their entrance to better their odds. But it sure makes for an awkward situation between Robinson and Draven, as Drew presently trying to oust Amanda Robinson from the ring.
It would be just as sweet for them to eliminate one another, but that's totally not gonna happen.
It sure isn't stopping Robinson from trying to get Draven the hell on out of there. Meanwhile, China starts to lay into Amanda. And in a few more seconds, we'll have our 4th entrant joining the match. And that's gonna add a touch more spice to this battle royal. Let's see who's up next at number 4.
The suspense is killing me, Wally. China tagging into Amanda Robinson like you said. Robinson counters with a knee. And look who it is, Showbiz. The wonderful, delightful toady of Titania Tatiana, the last woman to lose to Jeannie Parker. Maybe she's looking to get a little revenge for her master.
Or maybe Showbiz has the idea of getting her own grubby little hands on the women's world title for herself, which would definitely put her a cut above Titania. It would shift the entire dynamic of their relationship.
Showbiz and Draven going at it in the corner, with China fighting to get Robinson eliminated. Gotta admit, looking at just the 4 we've got now, China is looking the most dominant out of all of them.
Can't imagine any of these other pretenders becoming women's world champion. Talk about your nightmare fuel.
True, China's the only one I could ever take seriously.
Although I gotta admit, I think Jeannie Parker wouldn't mind facing Showbiz or Drew or Amanda. It would probably be a cakewalk. A couple of seconds away from our next entrant, and here they come. Meanwhile, China working on Draven, Robinson working on Showbiz. Let's see who we got now. Hey, it's Rossi Flowers, Ray Gunn's significant other. Now here's somebody I could definitely get behind as a number 1 contender.
She's never faced Jeannie D before, not even a non-title matchup. She's never even had a championship to call her own. So yes, both Rossi and China would be welcome as number 1 contender, and let's admit it, China versus Jeannie would be a money match for sure.
5 contestants in, and it's starting to get a little crazy in there. The sectarians, both trying to get rid of Showbiz, while China and Rossi go to work on one another. I had my doubts about some of these selections, but I can see now what the front office is aiming for here. We haven't even got half the entrants in there yet, and I'm already wondering who's gonna challenge Jeannie at the next Rage card. So far, China and Rossi are favorites for me.
Well, you can smile, Johnny. Drew Draven just got eliminated by Amanda Robinson. 5 seconds to go until our next entrant, Showbiz, makes her way back inside. There's the buzzer. Let's see who we got next at numero 6. Oh, man, this looks crazy. Well, look at this. The Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington. About to lay out a Rockets red glare or two on some of these people. Well, with one sectarian lady gone, I see exactly two women I would not mind seeing as #1 contender. Everybody hates Georgia Washington. Nobody knows much about showbiz, and we're one sectarian away from getting Amanda Robinson out of there. The Yankee Rose catches a shot from Rossi. Showbiz goes behind on China. Squirts her towards the corner, smashes her head into the turnbuckle. Amanda Robinson waiting for a chance to cut in for a dance here. Georgia Washington avoids elimination at the hands of Rossi. Rossi whipped to the ropes. Oh man, a collision center ring by 3 of them. The Yankee Rose catches a knee to the midsection from Rossi Flowers. China and Amanda Robinson colluding there for a minute, but then a power slam takes Robinson down. We are 5 seconds away from our next entrant, number 6. And man, this is, whoa, nice spin kick from Showbiz. I gotta give it to her. Rossi just got eliminated by Showbiz. I don't believe it. Shut up. China doing her best to get rid of Robinson. Babs Beckwith just joined the fray. Her old Babs Beckwith, the little valley girl that could, delivers the dropkick to Showbiz. Amanda Robinson goes behind on China with a Russian leg sweep. The Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington, the odd woman out, looking for an opportunity here. Catches a kick to the face from Robinson. Babs Beckwith going to work on Showbiz. The Yankee Rose cuts in on her. He's got Babs up over the shoulder, hangs her up over the top rope. Amanda Robinson working on China. Showbiz momentarily stunned and out to lunch. Georgia Washington goes to work on Robinson, got her up over the shoulder in the fireman's carry. Let's see where this goes. Oh man, nasty drop for Amanda Robinson. Showbiz taken down by Georgia Washington. Babs Beckwith with a kick to Georgia. China trying to figure it all out. Finally snaps out of it. 3 seconds away from our next entrance. China takes down Babs. Georgia gets a hold of China. We got 2 on the apron that could be in the danger zone. And who is it? Oh, look at this. Brooklyn Vaughn Brown, America's hero. Well, and she has no love for Georgia Washington. They're going to wind up clashing at some point.
Man alive, 6 entrants already, with 4 to go, and to eliminate it already. This has been one quick-paced battle royal, with some seriously hungry contestants.
I think I could take Brooklyn Vaughn Braun seriously as a contender.
I suppose I could too. Did you see Johnny's eyes just light up? Babs Beckwith just eliminated Amanda Robinson. Georgia Washington taking advantage of the moment, gets a hold of Babs Beckwith. Slams her head into the turnbuckle. Brooklyn out of the danger zone. China still in here after being number 2. And just, wow, she has sure hung on. Would not mind seeing her face Parker. Oh, man. 10 seconds to go to our next entrant. Georgia Washington slams Babs Beckwith. Showbiz gets a hold of Georgia, whips her to the far left corner. Brooklyn Vaughn Brown whips her into Georgia Washington. Oh, man, this one's great. Georgia gets a hold of Showbiz, spinning neckbreaker. And look who it is, Piper Niven, who just made her debut recently. Well, she definitely qualifies. Never held the title before, never faced Parker before. China on the outside apron here. Countered. Piper Niven. Rounded up by China. That's a strong woman, man. Whoa, look at this. Military press on. Piper Niven. Georgia Washington just escapes the apron. Babs Beckwith getting ready to go for the ride. A suplex from Georgia Washington. Brooklyn Vaughn Brown takes down Showbiz. Takes down Georgia Washington. Piper Niven in the corner. Here comes Babs Beckwith. Babs delivers the kick to the midsection of Piper Niven. China with a clothesline on Brooklyn Vaughn Brown. The Yankee Rose goes behind on China. 10 seconds to go till our next contestant. We already got 6 of them in there. This is crazy. Huh. Okay. Oh, nice slam from the Yankee Rose. Snapmare and a knee from Brooklyn Vaughn Brown. And here comes Crystal Gabor, the only one I've seen so far. Former multi-time women's world champion. The only one that's faced Judy Parker previously. Brooklyn Vaughn Brown goes to work on Crystal. The Yankee Rose out on the apron. There's a pedigree for Showbiz. Piper Niven in the corner. Babs Beckwith getting tagged pretty good by Brooklyn Vaughn Brown. Off the ropes comes Crystal with a drop kick to Georgia Washington. A clothesline from Piper Niven to China. Babs Beckwith being worked on by Brooklyn Vaughn Brown. Well, we've got total anarchy here. Showbiz finally escapes the apron. Back into the fray here. Brooklyn Von Brown takes Piper Niven down. Babs Beckwith just getting back to her feet. Gets a hold by Georgia Washington. Drag and screw. Bear hug from Showbiz on China. China says, are you kidding me? Come on, be serious. Crystal Gabor with a spinning slam on Brooklyn Von Brown. Babs Beckwith in the corner. Fights her way out against Georgia Washington. Piper Niven slammed to the canvas by Babs. Georgia delivers a shot to Babs. Babs out in the danger zone here. Brooklyn Von Brown in the corner. Crystal Gabor slams down Showbiz before she can eliminate Brooklyn. A neck breaker to Georgia Washington from Crystal Gabor. You expect me to get confused at some point. Piper Niven catches a slam from Brooklyn Von Brown. A Hurricane Rana from Crystal Gabor on China. Babs Beckwith momentarily stunned. Another nice slam from Georgia on Crystal Gabor. Crystal with a kick to Georgia. Georgia counters. Snaps the leg on Crystal Gabor. Showbiz with Babs Beckwith up against the ropes in a danger situation here. Showbiz trying to eliminate Babs. Piper Niven trying to be eliminated by Brooklyn Von Brown. The Yankee Rose trying to eliminate China. Crystal Gabor just standing around waiting for an opportunity.
China just avoided elimination by Georgia Washington. Piper Niven backs off Brooklyn Von Brown.
I'm just glad they got Amanda Robinson out of there.
Well, it didn't take long for this one to degenerate into total chaos, did it?
Yes, but it is beautiful chaos.
Sure, beautiful. Now that Amanda Robinson is out too, huh?
None of those sectarians even deserve to be part of this match. New blood or not.
And there is no known force in the universe that will change the mind of Mr. Bianco. Georgia Washington just avoided elimination too. Showbiz sitting in the corner. The Yankee Rose plays in the Rockets' red glare on Babs Beckwith. Brooklyn Von Brown choking Showbiz. Crystal Gabor with a dropkick to the head of Piper Niven. Oh man, this one's been crazy, huh? Man. Brooklyn Von Brown just ducked by Crystal Gabor. Brooklyn with a spinning neckbreaker on Crystal. China locks it up with Piper Niven. Babs Beckwith near the danger zone here. Crystal Gabor out on the apron too. Brooklyn Von Brown just got rid of her. That's another one gone. Showbiz working on the Yankee Rose. Babs Beckwith with a flying punch to Piper Niven. China and Brooklyn Von Brown mixing it up. We ain't got too many to go. This one's been good so far. Oh man, definitely wondering which one's going to wind up facing Jeannie Parker at Rage.
We're fresh out of entrance, so it's got to be one of these last competitors still in the ring.
No odd women out here. These last six working one another. Piper Niven trying to get Babs out. China and Brooklyn going at it. And Showbiz trying damn hard to get Georgia Washington gone from the mix.
And no one's in much of a hurry to leave. They all know that, and they all want to be the last woman standing with a chance to take down Jeannie Dynamite.
Can't believe China drawing number 2 and still in there after all this time. I really think she could make it.
She could very well make it, Wally. I mean, she is tough. That's why we got Babs in the corner, Piper Niven in the danger zone, Georgia Washington working on Brooklyn Von Brown, and Showbiz stamping the head of China. Piper Niven comes up behind Showbiz. Headbutt right to the back of the head. Piper Niven turns her attention to Babs Beckwith. Georgia Washington slammed by Brooklyn Von Brown. Babs Beckwith caught by the throat by Showbiz and a spike come right to the neck. Oh man, this one has been frenetic. China catches a headbutt from Showbiz. Brooklyn Von Brown comes up out of the corner on Showbiz. Showbiz gets her by the throat. This ain't gonna be good. Has her up for the choke slam and nails it. Piper Niven goes behind on Showbiz. Hard shot to the back from Piper Niven. China in the corner. Babs Beckwith standing over a fallen opponent. The Yankee Rose is laid out. Babs Beckwith finally makes it back in. She could have been eliminated right there. China counter whip over the top rope. And she is definitely in danger, but quickly avoids the problem. Gets herself back inside the ring. I thought that was going to be it for China. Piper Niven with a reverse electric chair drop face first into the canvas for Babs Beckwith. Showbiz still laid out in that corner. Piper Niven going to give her a little attention. Here we go off the middle rope. Oh, banzai drop right across the chest. A Yankee Rose out there on the apron. Piper Niven wound up by Brooklyn Von Brown into a Russian leg sweep. China working on Babs Beckwith. Georgia goes behind on Showbiz. Slams her into the canvas. China catches a chop block from Georgia. Brooklyn Von Brown with a knee to Piper Niven. Babs Beckwith catches a suplex from Georgia Washington. This has been total anarchy, and I'm just loving it.
Meantime, it's not looking too good for America's hero, Brooklyn Von Brown, with Piper Niven so close to eliminating her.
Piper Niven presses the attack, using her foot to shove Brooklyn off the apron. And she's done it. Brooklyn is out.
That whittles the field down to these final 5, and China's still in there punching.
Babs hanging out in a bad spot. China goes after Piper. Now, I don't believe Showbiz is still here, trying to get rid of the Yankee Rose.
You gotta give these ladies credit. They have hung out long, and they have hung out far longer than anybody could have anticipated. We have seen no quick eliminations in this battle royal. Babs Beckwith with a shot to the head of Piper Niven. The Yankee Rose waiting on Showbiz to do something. China laid out in the far left corner. Showbiz gets a hold of Georgia Washington, and Georgia's gone. That's the second elimination for Showbiz. She's not doing too badly for herself. I am pleasantly surprised. Babs Beckwith gets a hold of Showbiz, a karate kick right to the head, puts her out on the apron. China ruins it. Showbiz still in there. Babs Beckwith going to make her pay for that. Georgia Washington beats it out of town here. Babs Beckwith whipped into the corner by Piper Niven. A spin kick from Showbiz puts Piper Niven down. China gets a hold of Showbiz. And that's it for Showbiz. That's it. She is gone. These are our final 3. Babs, Piper Niven, and China. Got to give China her due. She has hung on long and hard. Babs Beckwith being torture racked by Piper Niven. There's a jawjacker to China from Piper Niven. China counters. There's a kick to the midsection. And look at this. Somebody's catching a pedigree. Piper Niven laid out by the 9th wonder of the world. Babs Beckwith rounds up China. Whips her over the top rope. And, oh man, almost. Babs Beckwith damn near did it. China goes behind on Babs Beckwith, back in the ring. Piper Niven still laid out from that pedigree. China slams Babs Beckwith to the canvas. As China returns her attention to Piper Niven, there's a knee to the skull. Babs Beckwith again hanging out on the apron in the danger zone. Not a good place to be. Piper Niven counters, delivers a kick to the midsection to China. China rounded up over the shoulder of Piper Niven, being walked towards the ropes, hung up on the top rope. Down she goes. Here comes Babs Beckwith with a running kick to the face of Piper Niven. Babs gets a hold of her. That's a powerful little thing, ain't she? Piper Niven catches the turnbuckle head first. China hanging out on the apron. You better hope nobody notices. Piper Niven rolls out center ring. Babs Beckwith pressing the attack here, but China with a drop kick to the back of Babs Beckwith. China gets a hold of Babs. Babs quickly counters. There's a kick to the midsection. Babs Beckwith whips China out onto the apron. But nobody there to eliminate her, so China comes right back in. Piper Niven goes back into the torture rack on Babs Beckwith. There's no submission. She's just trying to wear her out. Just enough to get her over the top rope. China with a Hurricane Rana and a set of right-handed punches to Piper Niven. Babs Beckwith hanging on for dear life here. China with a hard right to Piper Niven. Spins her around, has her up, back suplex to Piper Niven, who's starting to take quite a beating here at the hands of the 9th wonder of the world. Drew number 2, and she's still in there. Okay. Elbow to the midsection from Piper Niven to China. Babs Beckwith tags Piper Niven with a shot. Whips her out onto the apron, and again, avoiding elimination. Babs Beckwith head first into the far right turnbuckle. China gonna start going to work trying to get rid of Babs Beckwith here as Piper Niven looks on. It'd probably come down to just Piper Niven and China. That would be insane, huh? Babs counters with a shot to China. Piper Niven there to pick up the pieces. China slammed into the far left turnbuckle by Piper Niven, who now tries to get rid of her as Babs Beckwith watches. Babs waiting to see who's going to wind up getting eliminated here. Babs Beckwith just hanging on, biding her time. China counters, avoids elimination yet again. Babs with kicks to the face of both Chyna and Piper Niven. She should be trying to get rid of Piper Niven, but no. Chyna turns it around on Babs. She's in the far left corner. Piper Niven still hanging out on the apron. Babs counters Chyna again. Gets a hold of Chyna. Whips her over the top rope. Again. Chyna avoids elimination. Piper Niven whips her out, and that's it. Chyna is gone. It is down to Babs Beckwith and Piper Niven. I do not believe it. What?
Serious David and Goliath scenario here between Beckwith and Piper Niven. Which of them's gonna get the title shot?
Either way, goal achieved by the front office. They wanted a new challenger for Jeannie D, and they don't come much newer around here than either of these two ladies. I'd love to see Babs Beckwith pull this off, but Piper Niven's got a pretty significant weight, size, and power advantage.
Yeah, but give it up for Babs. Fight in with everything she's got left.
Absolutely. Got Piper Niven down center ring in a headlock. Piper Niven counters. Babs Beckwith right on her. Getting her close to the ropes. She's setting it up. Babs Beckwith countered by Piper Niven with elbows to the midsection. Piper Niven with a snapmare, a rebound off the ropes, and a crossbody to Babs Beckwith that would definitely knock the wind out of most people. Niven whips her out onto the apron, and she is struggling to get Babs Beckwith out of there. Babs Beckwith fighting like a tiger to stay in there, though. Oh, that's it. It's a hard right that puts Babs Beckwith out, and Piper Niven is the new #1 contender for the Women's World Championship. And guys, I can't believe it. It's definitely going to be a wild match at Rage on Monday when Piper Niven challenges Dynamite Jeannie Parker for the Women's World Championship. What a battle royal. What a result. And we're going to see something new, different, and exciting at Rage on Monday when Piper Niven faces Jeannie Parker for the Women's World Championship. And we'll be right back with our main event right after this.
You know what, Vader? I'm sick and tired of you. Every couple of months, you come back like a bad penny. I'm sick and tired of you chasing me. Because how many times am I gonna have to beat your ass before the lesson takes hold? 4, 5, 6, I don't know. But I tell you what, we'll do it one more time tonight for the super heavyweight title. But after this, you're not gonna want no more of me.
And that's no empty threat. Tonight's main event has the man called Hog Fat Vader challenging the Mexican monolith Warlord Santos for the RWL Super Heavyweight title. And I hope he just eviscerates Vader. Tonight's Snarl main event is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit and is for the RWL Super Heavyweight Championship. Tex,
Yeah?
you're right, and I'm sorry. I won't call Vader a disgusting tub of unrendered hog fat anymore.
Really? Well, now that's mighty big of you, Johnny.
No, he's 450 pounds of stinking whale blubber.
Wally, come get your boy. He's misbehaving again.
I think it's like you said at the start of the second half tonight. There's no changing Johnny's mind. Not after Vader shoved Sylvia Strong to the floor last spring. Really, GB, you've had spring, summer, now we're into autumn, and you're still carrying this around. I understand how you feel about Sylvia, but damn it, man, this is pro wrestling, not the Pillsbury Bake-Off. People do get hurt doing this stuff.
Johnny don't give a damn. I will always smile and laugh whenever I see Tubby McFat ass here, getting his ass beat. And I hope Warlord Santos squashes him so hard. They gotta spoon his blubber into plastic baggies.
Not for nothing, GB, but Vader is a former super heavyweight champion. So the theory goes, he could become champion again, so just be ready in case that happens.
Bull crap. Not while Santos is super heavyweight champion anyway. He might be able to take some other sad sack, but he's not beating the Mexican monolith. No way in living color.
And there is the unbiased opinion of Mr. Johnny Bianco. Well, now, let's see if Johnny's right. He called Vader Tubby McFat. Anyway, way, the Mexican monolith, Warlord Santos, the RWL Super Heavyweight Champion, toting both of his championship titles. And he's got Sylvia Strong in tow, and I'm sure he's going to keep her well behind him for this confrontation with Vader for the Super Heavyweight Championship.
You heard what he said in the pre-match promo. Santos is as sick of Vader as I am, and he can't wait to get at him and give Vader a reason to never want to knock on his door ever again after tonight.
Okay, we get it, and we understand where your loyalties lie and everything. Here, GB, let me take your mind off Vader for a second. What's the big man say about The Undertaker as the new World Heavyweight Champion? Santos had designs on facing Matt Clark for that title before he vacated it. Seems to me Santos might have some thoughts on that, and that maybe you might know what he's thinking about it.
Actually, yes he does. He says he regrets Matt going into semi-retirement before they could have one more serious banger. But he also knows that he's very likely on a collision course with The Undertaker at some point in their future, possibly by a year's end at Memphis Million. But that's a tale for another time, Wally. Introducing first the challenger, from the Rocky Mountains weighing 350 pounds, here is Vader. His opponent accompanied by Sylvia Strong from Hidalgo, Mexico, weighing 496 pounds. He's an RW all-double champion and the reigning super heavyweight champion, the Mexican monolith, Warlord Santos.
Hey, this ought to be good. GB has got so much invested in this particular main event. Well, now, the Super Heavyweight title on the line. Tom Kanemaru rings the bell. They lock it up center ring. Santos gets tripped up by Vader, who shifts his weight on that move. Vader rounds up Santos. Look at a mandible claw right out of the gate. Are you kidding me? Trying for a submission right away. 15 seconds in. Santos fighting back, shoves Vader way the hell on back. Vader going back for a second. Oh, shut up. Referee said break that up. Vader with a kick and a stomp to the Mexican monolith. Santos counters with a right. Counters Vader again. Has him up over the shoulder. Hung up on the top rope. Down goes the big man. Santos goes for the cover. Hooks the leg. One. Man, this one's fiery from the word go. A kick to the back from Warlord Santos. Santos drives the knee of Vader into the canvas. Vader counters with a shot to the midsection. Another, a chop, a kick, a double axe handle, and a clubbing overhand right to the back of the head of the Mexican monolith. Santos shoves Vader back again, rounds himself back up, gets a hold on Vader, has him up, takes a little walk with him. There's a backbreaker. And a nice stretching of the vertebrae. Your chiropractic business is done for the month. Santos slides out after Vader. Vader slides back in. A little game of musical ropes here. Vader countered by Santos. Santos rounds him up again. Vader counters with a knee. Doesn't want that backbreaker a second time. Charges a running kick. Takes Santos down to the canvas. Vader with a clubbing overhand right to the Mexican monolith. Vader with a hard kick to the ribs of the Mexican monolith. Santos rounded up again. Vader has him by the throat. This ain't gonna be good. Hard shot to the midsection, and down goes the Mexican monolith, followed up with a stomp to the back of the head. Oh, man. Vader countered by Santos. There's a headbutt that drops Vader center ring. Santos covers again. 1, 2. A frenetic main event here with the Super Heavyweight title on the line as Santos rounds up Vader again. Vader counters with a knee. Gets a hold of Santos. Hip toss from Vader. Vader with a knee to the head of Warlord Santos. Oh man, just pushing all his weight into Santos' back, followed up with a stomp to the back, and a big old drop right on the chest of the Mexican monolith. Johnny, come on, stop. I'm working here. Vader, all the way up on the top turnbuckle. Santos catches the double axe handle from Vader, followed up with a stomp to the back of the leg. And Vader, looking like he's in control of things at the moment, slides on out after Santos gets a hold of him, gets him back in the ring. Sylvia Strong definitely paying attention here. Vader showboating on the apron, and you know what that always leads to. You just seen it. Santos waits for Vader to get back inside. A flying clothesline that takes him down. Santos rounds Vader up, slams him face first into the canvas right in the center of the logo, and beating his feet on the Mississippi mud for good measure. All right, Santos rounds him up, gouging the face of Vader. Santos goes behind on Vader, gets a hold of him, whips him to the ropes. Big time power slam right smack in the center of the ring again. The Mexican monolith, with Vader momentarily incapacitated, takes himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Big time 496-pound splash. Here it is, 1, 2. Well, that's a wrap. Warlord Santos is still super heavyweight champion, and Johnny is smiling.
The time, 5 minutes and 9 seconds. Your winner by pinfall and still super heavyweight champion, Warlord Santos. That was a work of art, and I'm overcome by it. Told you guys, Chubby McGoodyear didn't stand a chance. Santos dispatched his porky opponent in less than 5 minutes. Here's hoping he don't come back.
And gang, that's it for this week's Snarl. Thanks to all of you who joined us tonight, and please continue supporting our WL and spreading the word about us. Our WL returns Monday night the 17th with our WL Rage with Don Hickson and company. For GB, Tex, and me, Wally Cardinal saying thanks, good night, and be safe. See you on the 22nd for Tex's birthday bash.
That's right, don't you dare miss it. It's going to be spectacular. Good night, folks. We'll see you next Saturday.